Welcome, people of all passion. My name is Jackson Hume of the Ninth Lane, home to the passionate side of athletics. And I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of The Art of Passion, where we discuss passion, motivation, and get an inside look at the mindset of these athletes and exactly what empowers them to achieve the goals they desire. This week's guest is a good friend of mine, as well as a very decorated athlete on and off the field as he represented Team Canada at the 2019 Pan American Games, as well as being the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games champion in the 100-meter dash. So without further ado, welcome my friend Malachi Murray. How you doing?
I'm good, Jackson. How are you? This guy did some research.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it, brother. Appreciate the recognition.
I had to bring my facts to the table. All right, bro. So got about 10 questions for you. Hoping to hear some good answers and hear your side of the story and everything. All right.
Sounds good.
Starting off with my first question, I like to refer to someone's core motivations as the thing that gets them out of bed in the morning. What would you say is that specific goal or motivation that inspires you to strive better every day, day in and day out?
Man, I would have to say, I'm a pretty family-oriented guy, my mom has definitely been around all my life and put food on the table every day, put the roof over my head, So there's definitely more than one driving factor, but my mom has to be up there. I got big dreams and big goals and I work towards them every day. So she's definitely the thing that's I want to be able to provide for her in the future, and I've had some family, I don't want to say issues. I mean, both of my cousins passed this last 2 years, and I've just put a lot of their burden on my shoulders almost, just to be as extra motivation, as extra driving factors, I want to do this for you guys type thing. And so I really don't plan on giving up anytime soon. I got a lot of people that are in my corner continually supporting me, and those are just a few of the driving factors that come to mind.
Honestly, bro, I feel you on that. Family is it's such a big motivator in every aspect, and it's just one thing that always keep you going and light that fire inside you.
Yes.
I totally relate to you. So you started running with Vallejo in 2016. So what was that experience like transitioning from the soccer field to the track? And how did you find the adjustment to the track and field world different than team sports?
Bro, so I've played soccer from the ages of 4 all the way up to 16. So I was I didn't really know anything else. And so I quit soccer in grade 10 because I was this isn't really going anywhere for me. And then, my mom was yo, you're fast, just join the track team. And honestly, I was yeah, I'll do that. And honestly, I didn't even hand in my track form. She found it out crumpled in my backpack, and she walked with me to the office and forced me to hand it in type thing. And so I ran in grade 10. I did pretty good. I think I got second in zones because Connor Swavey, I'm sure you know him. He was kind of tearing it up at the moment, and he was oh, bro, you're so fast. I'm sure you do so good on my track team. And I'm I don't really know. You guys just run. I'm I'm used to a ball at my feet, somewhere. And team sports, you got your friends there and all that type of stuff. So anyways, I go to Vallejo, I go to a practice, and it's I'm just running, right? And that's a little different for me. And my coach is just telling me the basic cheek to cheeks type stuff, and basically getting me prepared for cities. And so I end up training for 2 weeks, go to cities, end up winning cities. And then I'm I guess I got something going on. 2 weeks later, I think there's provincials, and I get second at my first high school provincials in the 100 meter. So I'm yeah, this is definitely something I can succeed in, hopefully. And so I was just I kind of didn't even really take track seriously then until around 2018 when I won 2 provincials, and then And then ended up going to nationals and winning the 200-meter nationals. That's when I was like, hey, this is something that I can see like in my future. But even just the 2 years where I was training, I was just like, kind of like trying to get out of practice and all that. But once I solidified myself in the sport, I was like, I could see myself doing this for a while.
Yeah, I feel you. And it's kind of funny because I kind of have a similar story, because my mother, she would always tell me, like, because I played football for like 10 years before I started track.
Yeah.
But she basically forced me to join track and would tell me, and whenever I would ask her if like, oh, I want to play a different sport such as basketball, she'd say, okay, so you can quit a sport, but you can't quit track. And I think it's just like, it's because the elements in track, you just learn so much that can be applied in any sport. Like, I feel like those 2 weeks of you learning even before cities, like it did so much in helping your form and just even already skyrocketing, or like helping your performances just that quickly too.
Yeah, just because it was like pure just talent, right? And there was no process of like exploring that talent or making it better. So just like even those 2 little weeks were definitely a help.
For real. That's usually what it is in the first year when mans don't know how to run, but then when they perform, their times just go crazy.
Yeah. And track is definitely something that like promotes discipline, because like you're doing the same thing every day, whether it's block starts or whether it's tempo or whether it's speed or whether it's speed endurance. Like, you're running. At the end of the day, all you're doing is running. And so like when you come out to practice and you know what you're doing, you already know you're running, you just don't know like the type of pain you're gonna feel. So it definitely creates the discipline of just doing the same thing every day.
Yeah, get that muscle memory. I heal you. So the importance of quality training partners is often overlooked in track and field due to its individualistic nature. So how much importance do you credit towards having a training partner who shares a similar vision and drive to you?
Oh man, I couldn't give enough credit if I tried. Like, Benjamin Williams has been a training partner of mine since like 2017, I'd say. And literally, I would have to say all my success, all my credit, I would have to be contributed to him, because, you know, he's older. He's basically the guy that's showing me the ropes. He's telling me I'm running beside him, but at the same time, he's able to go back and tell me what I'm missing in a certain run, or telling me, or whether I'm just like weightlifting with him and he's telling me proper technique in the gym, or, you know, there's just so many things that a training partner can do that a coach can't, because they're in your situation. There's someone that is in your shoes at all times, and like they're at the meets, they're on the starting line with you, they're in the blocks. And so like a coach is a great help, don't get me wrong, like you're probably not going to improve without one, but a training partner is definitely a critical aspect in, you know, just bettering yourself in the sport.
100%. And I'd say a good thing with training partners too is to have like a friendly rivalry where you're going back and forth, but you're doing nothing but elevating each other throughout the entire process. So
for real.
I think
because like I've helped him get his PBs as well. Like I'm not just like, you know, standing there doing nothing. Like with my help, he's been able to achieve those PBs that he wasn't able to prior to me. So
yeah,
it works both ways.
100%. And that's what I'm saying. It's really important to have a good quality training partner who not only shares the same drive, but also they have the same vision, like the same future. They know what they want, and they're willing to come to work every day, and they're willing to put it all on the track.
Yeah.
So you've had quite a decorated career so far throughout your short track career. Having only started 5 years ago, what does trust in the process mean to you? And how much do you attribute to the mental side of the track?
Holy, the process, I didn't even start trusting it till around 2 years ago. Like track was always something that I would just go through the motions and, you know, just do it to do it type thing. But recently I've been putting a lot of my trust in the process, is like focusing one day at a time, you know, And I would say what triggered that was making Team Canada, because prior to that, I really didn't have a mental game. Like, I would just go to the track, warm up, and, do my training prior to it. And now since then, I've adopted, reading different books and meditating daily on a daily basis, and just focusing on recovery too, because that's a crucial aspect that you don't really get by going through the motions. You have to like kind of tune in when to like, okay, my quads acting up, I should probably do something about it. Well, if you're just going through the motions, you're probably not going to recognize too much of those things. So the mental side also helps you stay in tune with your physical side, I've found. And yeah, it's been a key part in staying focused for me, for real.
Yeah, I'd say they go hand in hand. And I also, didn't take track too seriously until I think it was the 11th grade where I got silver provincials. And it was an eye opener because it was one of those races where like, you're in it and then you tense up final 5 meters and then just let it go. And
Yeah.
really just made me realize, okay, man, like I got to get in the zone. Like I got to relax, got to do my drive. No more going through the motions. I got to tune in and lock in for real.
Yeah, because there's the last nationals I attended, I really didn't do what I was expecting to do. I'm coming off of a big PB, and I was really expecting just to go in there and dominate. But looking back, I can see that my mental side was just not where it is today. And that is why I just like kind of let it slip through my fingers at the time. And like ever since that day, I've been like on a mission to just sharpen that aspect of my game, because it was flawed beforehand. And I'm still working on it. It's not perfect, but it's definitely improved.
Makes sense. I can get with you. So back in 2019, you competed for Canada in the 100-meter dash at the U20 Pan Am Championships in Costa Rica. What was the experience like to compete on the world stage, and how did it impact your career and mindset afterwards?
Holy, that was seriously a life changer for me. I've never experienced competing on a national team prior, whether it was in a different sport or this one. And it was like just making the team and, getting the merch delivered to my house and opening it and seeing Team Canada. It was like such a surreal feeling, and I wasn't even there yet. And then a couple months go by and then I'm there, and it's like, the pressure was getting to me, man, because I looked at the heats and I see I'm running against Matthew Bowling, and I'm like, bro, people know who Matthew Bowling is, so they're gonna see this heat, and if I'm doing bad, they're gonna see me doing bad. And then like, you just can't look at it like that, because the second you let the external get into here, that's when it messes it all up. So honestly, that was a big learning curve for me, just to like not focus on that, just leave it, just focus on what I had to do in my warm-up, and just being ready mentally. And that experience was crazy. I ended up finishing 3rd in my heat, and I think it was 10th overall, and like it was a dream come true. And it's helped me realize that this is what I kind of want to do. And yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, bro. I remember watching that race, and even though you came 3rd in your heat, bro, that 10:49 was smoking fast, man.
Smoking.
I was just like, this guy did not come to play.
Yeah, I was like, bro, everybody back home was watching this. But again, I couldn't focus on that when the time was there. But afterwards, I was like, it was like a weight off my shoulders almost. It was a good feeling, great feeling.
Yeah.
Especially like performing when, I don't know, when you're not really expected to. It's a great feeling.
I feel you. So, although you didn't qualify for the final, you still set a personal best and the fastest time in the country for U20 in 2019 at 10:49. So, in my opinion, what makes track so interesting is the notion that ultimately it's just a race against yourself. And there aren't really that many sports that can relate to the bittersweet feeling of finding a personal victory in a defeat. What helps you find that silver lining in a race that might not have fully gone your way?
I feel like it's important to go in a race with objectives or goals almost, and so then it helps you gauge how your performance did. I don't think you can go into a race thinking, or every single race thinking, if I don't win, this is a bad race, because that's not true. You can't win them all. And so like having the goal of personal best, like hitting a personal best is like, you can't ask for much more. You've literally done your best that you've ever done, or best that season. And so I think that's a good way to look at a victory. Even if you didn't win the race, like hitting a PB or a SB is definitely a win. And like there's going to be races where you don't perform well, and those are the races you got to look back and identify what you did wrong and how you can improve. And so I just think there's a couple variables that you got to pay attention to, win or lose, because even if you do win and you achieve that, you got to like stay in the zone for your next race, because the season's most likely not done, and there's always more work to be done.
For real. It's just, and that's what it is. And that's something that I think can really help, is just, it's just always next race. The past is behind you. You can look at what you did, look at your corrections, figure out your mechanics, but ultimately that race is behind you. All we're focusing on right now, what we got to do right now, and how we're going to improve, and how we're going to best ourselves from the previous week.
Yeah, win or loss, it's definitely critical to do that.
So on top of representing Edmonton on the world stage, you came home shortly after to become the 100-meter champion at the 2019 Western Canada Summer Games. What was it like having to pivot back immediately after Pan Am's and staying focused, knowing that the job wasn't done?
Yeah, so I actually had a race in between that, which was nationals. And so like I had to pivot pretty quickly. It was like a week in between two huge races. And then that race was like 2 weeks afterwards. And honestly, by that time, not just me, but a lot of athletes are feeling burnout, because that's the last race of the season. It's a pretty big one, but but for me in particular, it wasn't my biggest race. So like it was definitely something I had to keep in mind. Like, your season is not done. There's still more work to be done. But burnout is a thing, and it's something you eventually have to overcome with experience. But just refocusing, and it was a great time just being with a bunch of other athletes that are consider themselves elite and whatnot. Like, it was a great atmosphere, and the atmosphere itself honestly helped me to get back into the mindset. And overall, it was a great experience, and I can't wait for Canada Summer Games coming up 2022, I believe. That'll be another great experience.
Say no more. And I was just about to ask, would you say that that relaxed atmosphere, being back in Canada with the Team Alberta, with some people that would that help like relax your mind and help you stay a little more focused and avoid the burnout a little less?
I would say that definitely helps. Being around people, that are trying to accomplish the same things you're trying to accomplish is always gonna be a good thing to have. And you're smiling and joking with your Team Alberta friends or whatever it may be is definitely a way to relax your mind. And it was a big help, because at the time you're still coming off of a high, or if you'd like to say, and just my mind necessarily wasn't at Western Canada Summer Games initially until because the first couple of days you're just warming up and getting used to the atmosphere, and then on like the second or third day the races begin. And by the time the races begin, I've already enjoyed my sort of initial conversing with teammates, and that allowed me to just reset and refocus onto the next job, which was 100 meter, 200 meter.
Say no more. Yeah, I like that. So I spoke on the art of relaxation in my previous posts and how I think being a relaxed runner is a crucial element in the construction of an elite sprinter. Do you have any strategy for remaining relaxed and calm under the pressure of race day?
I'd say I wouldn't say there's anything you can do on race day. I'd say it's all about preparation, all what you're doing beforehand. I have I don't know. I have an Epsom salt bath, magnesium bath, 2 to 3 times a week. Keep my muscles relaxed, and I would never have one on the day before race day because you want your muscles to be explosive. But just making sure that your body's undergoing a good routine, a good relaxing routine and recovery routine every week is crucial. But by the time race day comes, you're gonna have nerves and you're gonna feel pressure, and it's just about understanding that you're supposed to be there and everybody else is feeling this way. It's just you got to make sure that your presence is felt. You're not racing them, they're racing you, is always what I kind of thought. And as long as you have that mindset and that mentality, like you're not really worried about how the other racers are going to do, and that takes a lot of pressure off of yourself.
I like that. I've never thought of it like that. The fact that they're racing you, I've never thought about that. I'll take that into account for my next race.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm giving some secrets. You guys better be writing your notes down.
For real. Spitting some game right now. Good. So in times as difficult as these, how do you manage to remain strictly focused on accomplishing the goals that you set for yourself?
Oh man, I don't know if I've ever endured times harder than this right now, just in terms of staying focused. It's honestly been a really tough time, but it's something everyone's going through. So as long as you understand that, then you're gonna find a way to get past that. But honestly, the gyms opening up recently have been a huge help, in getting my focus back, and just having access to it again is crazy, because then I feel like I'm putting in more and more work every day. And the weather's getting nicer, so that's huge. I can train outside whenever, and I have been. But besides that, during the winter, when I didn't have as much access to like outdoors and facilities, it was only like twice a week. I'm personally lucky. My family bought a bike, a stationary bike for us to use, so I've been using that, of course. And I have a couple books back there that if you're reading them every day, then you're gonna find a fire in yourself. Like, books are a great way to ignite that internal fire. And I've also used that time to just train my mind more so than my body, which is allowing me to come back full force.
No, I feel you. Same here. And it's that preparation in the meantime before, for it hits summer and you have the access outside into the track again, that's really going to help you in this bounce back once we get to racing again. Because throughout all that time, even if you're not, running as much, but you're still preparing and you're still locked in throughout that time, and you're just getting your mind right, getting your fire sparked, just staying intact, staying locked in. So I really like that. I feel you on that one. Lastly,
you're good.
Any goals that you have set that you're looking forward to crushing in 2021?
2021, man. My short-term goals for 2021 would just probably have to be coming back and hitting a PB. If I can do that, then I'm laughing. I'm not worried about nothing. But even if I don't, then that's gonna be okay too. This is gonna be my first season back, and but again, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about doing what I can now, today, and tomorrow, and just letting the rest fall into place, because I know, and when I put enough work in, it'll show, and it has been, and it's going to continue to do so. And 2022, though, there's going to be a lot of meets. There's COVID has backed up a lot of them, so there's going to be a serious explosion in 2022. And that my eyes are set on that, my goals are set on that, and so 2021 is just going to be a good reset, good restart to focus, and get my body back to where it was, and my mind even further than where it was.
I agree. And I'm really excited to see everything pop off in 2022. It's just going to be a year of just,
It'll be crazy.
Be some crazy times, some crazy improvements, just some really fun track and just sports all around to be watching. Because it's just all that, pent up athletic aggression, motivation, passion just exploding out. And it's got to be
see who's been working,
honestly. And that's one thing I think too, is that like once things start getting back to normal again, there's going to be this divide from the people who were preparing, people who were working, and people who fell behind a little bit. And I think that it's going to show.
It's going to be a completely different thing, because I feel like there's a lot of people that have just quit the sport completely because they don't see why keep going, and there's going to be people that have been working extremely hard, and there's going to be that sort of mid-level people where they're just working here and there. But either way, it's going to be great to see, and I'm excited for it. Excited to see you on the track. I haven't seen you on the track in a minute.
I know, man. I'm excited to get back on this track, bro. Give me in some hundreds and some 60s. I was running some back at York.
Are you still attending York?
Yeah, I'm still at York, but I'm back in Edmonton right now. But I'm trying to get in some 60s, man. I ran 2 60s in my first year, and I think the last one, it was at the last meet of the year before OUAs, and I got a PB just by 100, just 719, and even
that's all that matters.
I was like, all right, man, might have to try this next year. So
I know, bro, times were blazing before COVID hit, crazy times in that indoor season.
For real, I know. What a shame, but all we can do is work right now.
That's right.
All right, well, that concludes all of my questions. Very happy to have you on the show, Malachi. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for having me. Hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Yes, sir. And take care. All right.
All right, have a good one.